This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
So carrying on towards the end of Sif Aleph, in the first siman of Shulchan Orach, just after the brackets where it says Mer Nevuchim, the Ramah continues. V'lo yispayesh v'pnei bnei Adam hamaligim olav. A person, the Ramah writes, after he famously begins Shavis Hashem lenegdi somid, a person should be miskaber ka'ari, like the Shulchan Orach says, and have this awareness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence in everything he does. The lo mispayesh mipnei bnei Adam, says the Ramah, a person shouldn't be embarrassed in front of another human being, hamal'igim olav ba'avodas Hashem yisbarach, who mock him, who make fun of him because of his service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Gam b'tznei haleches u'b'shichva mishkava yeida lifnei mi hu shochim. Even when a person is lying down, he's in bed, he should be aware that he's lying in the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. U'miyad sheyeyor mishnosav, and a person immediately, when he wakes up in the morning, yokum b'zrizus la'avodas bori yisbarach v'yis'aleh. He should wake up with enthusiasm, with alacrity, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Katan Hey, B'pnei bnei Adam, he shouldn't be embarrassed by the mocking of other people. But says the Mishnah Berurah, how appropriate for the person who wrote it, that he shouldn't get involved in arguments. He should just don't start up with them. Because the midah of azus, of brazenness, is very despicable. And a person should not use it at all. Even in his avodas Hashem, because he'll sort of integrates within himself the midah of azus, which perhaps in this context would be not so bad, but in other contexts it will be bad. And in a situation in other walks of life, in business, in the sport field, or wherever else, he might display the midah of azus, and that's the last thing the person wants. So therefore, the person should not be listen or be swayed by what other people think, and he should have a bit of backbone and show his commitment to avodas Hashem. But he shouldn't start up with other people and avoid any form of machlokas. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Katan Vav, hamaligim olav v'chein. If a person is a regular person and is there with other greater people than him, even though there are people who are ostensibly bigger and greater than him, that should not deter him, who is more average, from doing this mitzvah. If you can do the mitzvah not in front of them, tov yoseh, then even better. But if you can do it in front of other people who are like-minded, who are similar to him, better to do it in front of them. Because other people will learn from your good behavior. But a person should certainly have in mind to do it l'shem shamayim and not as a show of pride or any display of arrogance. Even when a person is at home with modesty, without being out in the public, you should also walk with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or like the Ramah finishes off. A person should get up with enthusiasm. Lav dafka doesn't mean he should bolt out of bed, but he should just wait a moment and not get up straight away. The Gemara in Gittin Daf Ayin says that if a person gets up too quickly, it's injurious to the body. Tov lo mateka p'kumay. It's good when a person wakes up in the morning. He should say moide ani. Some say moidah, but the normal, I think, minhag is moide ani. Lefanecha melechai v'kayom shechezarti b'nishmasi b'chemlo. Thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for restoring my soul. Rabba emunasecha, great is your emunah, which is normally understood to mean that the emunah you display in me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is great. You've got a lot of confidence in me. The tebas b'chemlo yebas nachto. You should put a comma after the word b'chemlo, i.e., moedan lefanecha melechai v'kayom shechezarta b'nishmasi b'chemlo, comma, Rabba emunasecha. The Rabbi Munasecha, but there should be a gap between Chemlo and the words Rabba Munasecha. And Rabba Munasecha should be without any gap. For whom in a kos of Chadashim Abkarim based on a pasuk. Shakadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim Emunasa LaHachazir Neshamas HaMufgadim Baboker to restore those souls to those, like as a deposit, to return the deposit in the morning. And you don't need to wash Negelvasa, to wash Netilas Yadayim before saying Moda Ani, because there is no shame Hashem in the Moda Ani. Va'af im yadav mutunafas, even if his hands are mutunaf, which means they have touched parts of the body which are normally covered, etc. Because there is no shame Hashem, not even a kinui, an appellation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. However, washing your hands, we're learning before washing the Tzilas Yadayim is not allowed. And certainly before Berachas HaTorah, one should, that is also v'ayin le'el. So if you've gotten base, which is what we mentioned yesterday, that if there is no water around, then you should be menaka your hands. You should just sort of wipe them on the table, clean them, and not just hold off for a long period of time until you find some water. You would be able to get up and do that. But Berachas HaTorah, one should say before one is actually learns. But that's what we spoke about yesterday. Just do sif base. Hamashkim leischanin, says the Shulchan Aruch. Hamashkim leischanin lefnei boirei. A person who wakes up early to supplicate in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, yechaven l'shos shemishtanas hamishmoris. She'ein b'shlish halayla, v'lesoif shnei shlish halayla, v'lesoif halayla she'tfili yisbala bo'is nashos alachrum ma'agolas rutsuya. A person should, if he wants, does tikkun chatzos and other forms of tefillas, he should make note of the various mishmoros, the various times, the night divided into three. Shlish halayla, v'lesoif shnei shlish halayla, at the end of the first third, the second third, v'lesoif halayla, at the end of the night. Because at those times they're auspicious for davening for the galus and for the Geula. Thank you.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.